Okay, let's go to this one right here. We're going to hear this one. Now, this is should scare the shit out of you. This is a woman. I think she's somewhere in Africa, or I'm just assuming it's Africa. We're going to hear portions of her video here. She's also talking. She's doing the Duolingo thing where she's talking in English and half her native language. So you guys got to sit through that. There's a little bit of an accent here, but she's talking about what we're going to talk about. We're going to kind of break this down. This is important. This is important. So again, this is why people say, I'd rather just stay married. All right. I'd just rather get married, or I'd rather just buy a woman. Here it is. Let's see.
Okay. Unasoma body language, unaangalia vile yuko, unasikiza vile zile vitu yosema. Because I promise you, I keep saying this, and I don't know why especially men struggle with this. I don't know if they're not able to see it directly, but I promise you, if a woman doesn't want you, her body language, the way she talks to you, mi hata venye mi naongeleshanga watu si like ni different na venye ndaongelesha chali na like, hey we buda toka hapo, lakini chali yang, hey baby, hi. It's the same me, but there's something that emotions do to you, affect the way you react physically. If you're angry, you raise your voice. If you're calm and slow, you're a bit softer. So these are the things to look out for.
Now, what she's hitting on is that he's supposed to read her body language and her communication. Oh, well, you know, I might not say no, but he should know by the way I'm communicating. By how I demonstrated, how I talk. My pitch was high, my pitch is low. Now, again, that's consent to her, which goes back to say silence or absence of resistance alone doesn't constitute consent. Individuals is not required to resist or say no. That's what she's saying. She's saying, I said no by the way I'm talking back to you. And he should know this. He should know. Yeah, bruh. Hey, listen, I ain't in it. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. You better understand this, because if you mess with the wrong one, this is what you got.
But if it's a no, do not push, do not beg, do not coerce, do not insist, do not try again and again and again.
The no will be.
All right, if it's a no, don't try again and again and again. That's called coercion. I said no. Pressuring another person into sexual activity can constitute coercion, which can be sexual misconduct. I said no, do not try again and again and again. So if the woman says I said no twice and 3 times and he kept on pushing me, that's sexual misconduct. Okay, so she's communicating that there. Let's continue.
He will be heard in her voice.
She will say it even in her body.
Even in her body. Oh, see, this is where you're playing with fire. She'll say it, but in her body. Let's let her continue. Not her mouth. Her body will say it.
You know, let me give you an example. Because sometimes there's exceptions where people say no when they mean yes, and there's times people say yes and they mean no. But let me explain to you how you should look at it from a wholesome perspective.
Okay, explain.
If someone says no, even as a joke, or even if they mean yes, take it as a no. Take it as a no. Do not try to see if they'll change their mind. And if they say yes, go at their pace. Make sure the body language is matching, because I could say yes just to shut you up. But then uniambie, Roberta, can I get your number? Nikwambie yes, nikupe na niende haraka ndo usiniongeleshe, usiniulize vitu zingine, alafu nikublock. That's not a yes. That's just a yes to get out of the situation.
Okay. All right. Interesting point. I said yes, but I was just trying to get out of here. So guys will say, I went to get these numbers and I get all these numbers, but he pressured her, and she gave him the number. Okay, here. And then she ends up blocking him later. But he says, I got the number. Why these bitches block me? Well, you pressured her into it. That's what she's saying. She's also saying, give me a second here.
And I love this topic here, consent, because most of us grow up without having these discussions. So we don't really know what's yes and what's if yes. And then I think boys were told that you can turn the no into a yes. Like,
there you go. All right. Overcome objections. Overcome objections. So she also saying, because I said no, doesn't mean it's a no. Right? It could mean that it's, well, she said just because when I say no, it means stop. But some women will say, well, I said no and he didn't go further. He didn't try. How many women have said that? How many women have said that? I asked for the number. She says no. And then I walk away. Okay. And she says, why don't these men try anymore? They only hear one no and they stop. Why? Because men have been told no means no. Now, the dating coaches will say, nigga, don't listen to none of that shit. And they'll go into manipulation and coercion. And they will say, I successfully got laid. I've successfully got the number by overcoming objection. But she might have been pressured into it. She might have said, this nigga keep begging for pussy. Okay, I eventually gave him some so he could shut the fuck up. Right? But she's saying, which one is it? Which one is it? This is what you're dealing with out here. Which one is it? Is it, should we take the first no or should we not take the first no? Does no always mean no or does no mean apply pressure? Guys, you play that game. You play that game. But if you're a guy that doesn't have nothing to lose, you play the pressure game. If you're a guy that has something to lose, you just sit back. Okay?
If some women are hard to get and what, keep chasing, keep pursuing. And it's very wrong because it teaches people, not just men, women as well. It teaches people not to give space for consent. And this inafanya relationships deteriorate. Because imagine even trying to have sex with someone who said yes out of fear. Last week I had an unfortunate event happen to me. In the building I live, a guy who lives one of the floors, Ukoju, knocked at my house. I'm not very friendly with the people like I don't talk to atuonanangi sana because of mi sionangi watu kwa hiyo building. Najua a few people but sijui kila mtu. But this guy, I've seen him before. And he knocked at my door and he was asking me sijui what, and all of a sudden he grabbed me. He grabbed me. I live alone. So imagine the shock. He grabbed me, he pulled me, he started, can I kiss you? He said, let's go. Just a lot of nonsense. And he started to try and kiss me. And I wasn't saying no or pushing him away. But in my head, I was thinking, oh my God, this man will rape me.
Okay. A thin line. She didn't say no. She didn't verbalize a no. She didn't scream, kick, cry. Now, thin line. If it's a guy she wanted, she likes it rough. She likes masculine guys. She likes men that take control. If it's a guy she doesn't like, great, sexual assault, sexual misconduct, domestic violence. Let's go back. Silence or the absence of resistance alone does not constitute consent. An individual is not required to resist or say no for an offense to be proven. Now, she said, I ain't say no. I didn't scream, kick, cry, fight. I didn't say no. But she said, in my mind. In my mind. What do I tell you? They can remove consent at any point. In her mind. Shannon Sharpe. How do I process this after he left and her dookie hole bleeding? How do I process this? In my mind. So it's not just Shannon Sharpe. It's not just the OnlyFans girl. It's also this girl. In my mind. Oh, he's going to grape me. He's going to kill me. So, hey, I'll just get through it. The next day, she at the police station. You out there thinking you got another lay on your body count. She at the police station. Okay, let's continue here.
And I was very scared. I was very, very frightened. But I just froze. So you see, and this is a very hard, difficult thing to talk about because when you're talking to someone and you're trying to explain, I did not give my consent. This is not someone who I have ever allowed in my space to even dare and touch me like that, someone will ask me, did you say no? Mbona hukufunga mlango?
Did you say no?
Scream?
Did you scream?
Mbona hukumfight off?
Nope.
But you have to understand that how the body reacts to trauma is different. There's fight, flight, or freeze.
Yep.
These are very normal responses for your body when you're faced with danger. So flight is to run away. Fight ni kupigana viding.
Yes.
Na freeze is what I did. I was so shocked because it's not something I was expecting. I was so shocked and I felt so bad. The next day I called my mom, my friends, and the whole week, it happened last week. Mpaka saizi, people have been staying with me at my house because of the fear I have.
Now, gentlemen, woo, wait. Did you hear that? Why didn't she file a police report? Who did she talk to? Mom, dad, bald-headed granny with the polka dot panties, friends, family, no police. She said, I froze. I've talked to women that said they were sexually assaulted. And I asked, did you fight? Did you scream? She said, no, I froze. So that is a common response that women say they reported when they were assaulted. Froze. Why? He was bigger than me. Nobody would hear me yelling. If I fought, he would do more to me. He would punch my teeth in. So did she go to the police? When men say she should have went to the police, we've already established why they don't do that first. Why they don't go immediately run. And they are penalized for not immediately running to the police. Oh, well, yeah, that's the first thing you would do. And she's now explaining that in women's mind, that is not the first thing that they do. I'm not here to defend it. I'm just telling you, she's explaining it. And how can you get in trouble with a woman not filing a police report? Hey, a police report or she lying? Okay. She's saying I talked to everybody but the goddamn police. Okay, let's continue.
I told my landlord about it.
No, in the heat of the moment.
She told the landlord, everybody but the police. Now, again, if you guys will continue to say that and think the case is going to get dismissed, you're wrong. Because they don't have to go to the police. They don't. That's not one of the first steps that they are required to do. This could be days later, and now it strengthens their case if they do a rape assault kit. It strengthens the case, but it is not a requirement. Continuing on, neither do they see it as a requirement. Let's continue.
I told him, I'm going to scream if you don't leave me alone. That's what I said, and he left. By the time even he was leaving, I was so confused because what just happened?
There it is. I was confused when he left. How do I process this? Confusion. You got her sitting outside in the Uber, 2 a.m. She gets home, 3:34. Maybe a homeless man pisses on her ankles as she walking in the house. Maybe her boyfriend, her mama, her daddy. Bitch, why you coming in the house at 4 a.m.? I got sexually assaulted. She didn't get sexually assaulted until she faced some sort of ridicule, shame, consequences. Hey, you know what? This shit ain't turned out the way I wanted to. So when I got home, I finally realized, aha. Do you see how you can get these cases? It can happen, guys. And now you playing he said, she said. After further consideration, remove consent. That's how it sounds to us.
But then because tunaishi kwa society yenye imetuzoesha victim blaming, the first thing I asked myself was, why did I open for him? I don't even know him. He's a man. What is he doing knocking at my house? Because those are the questions you're asked. Ulikuwa umevaa nini? Mbona ulimfungulia? Mbona ulikubalia kushike? Mbona? And these things play in the mind of a victim over and over, and you ask yourself, why didn't I say no? Why didn't I push him away? Why didn't I run from the situation? But how your body reacts is completely something you cannot control. And so this thing with consent is, it's wholesome. It's not just about the words that come out of someone's mouth. It's not just, and this is not just for women. I'm talking about men as well, because men are also in situations that are like this, and they can't talk to anyone about it.
Exactly, yeah, because what?
If he goes and says, Odem alinishika makende.
I think
Odem alinishika. Na sikukuwa nataka. Unaona?
Baby, what?
Ata ulizwa ati.
Baby.
Aiwe, kwani upendi hizo mambo.
What the fuck are you saying?
But it's actual disrespect.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck she said, but let me skip ahead here. Let me skip ahead. And I'm going overtime here, but let me continue. I was wondering what the fuck she was about to say here, but let's see here.
When she says no, stop there. Because by them mnaweza hata endelea, umemkoas, muendelee, mumalize, muachane, asmile na wewe. Ukitoka hapo, I post Twitter. This guy raped me. I told him no, and he continued. What will you do? Because it is true, she did say no, but you still proceeded.
Consent can be withdrawn at any point during sexual activity, even if someone consents to one thing.
Yes.
They have a right to change their mind.
Yes. An example I'll give is condom use.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Let's say you've discussed, you've agreed, sawa. I've agreed, we'll have sex.
Yep.
Consent nimepeana. But we have to use a condom.
This is big.
Zimeshika, mambo imechangamka, kumekuwa moto. Then he takes off his condom. He is revoking the consent.
Ooh. Ooh. This gonna make y'all heated right here. This gonna make y'all heated. This is Shannon Sharps. I agreed, but with the condom. You took the condom off or didn't put it on. She's saying you revoked the consent. The man revoked the consent. Now, again, I'm trying to help y'all out, but, I'm trying to help y'all learn the insides of these women and they mind and how y'all niggas get hemmed up. But she said, I only agreed if you wore the condom. The fact that you took it off, you removed the consent. You did, not me. So then when she says, hey, he switched up on me, that's called stealthing, and that's a sexual assault. Stealthing. Sexual assault, stealthing, also known as non-consensual condom removal, is a form of sexual violence where a partner removes or intentionally damages a condom during sex without the other person's knowledge or consent. This act can lead to unintended pregnancies and STIs. In the jurisdiction, including California, stealthing is now recognized as a form of sexual assault or grape. So you removed the condom and you slid in. Just if you put the head in, she could, I'm not saying she will, she could say, hey, that's grape. Now, if you're dealing with a woman over 30, there's a high chance that she's not going to see it like that. Under 30, probably will, all right? Because this is how they're taught. This is where the line is, 30, 35. These are the two generations. So these women are told this in a constant basis that that's where it is. So now you have her saying, you removed the consent. You did, not me. And you went in there and I said, I only stroked it twice, Judge. Guilty. I only stroked it twice. I did take the condom off, but I only got 2 strokes in. I only got the head in. Great. This is what Shannon Sharp is saying right here. That's what he's insinuating. Hey, man, look, I fucked her before up without the condom, and she said condom, but we were in the middle of consensual, non-consensual, so I thought this was role play. Good luck. All right, you're rolling the dice on that one. All right, you're just rolling the dice. I can't tell you what's going to happen. You better hope you have a very, very good jury and judge. All right, continue. Oh, by the way, KM says 2 counts of stealthing, 1 for each stroke. Guys, I know a guy in prison that they counted each time he stroked the woman. each time his dick fell out and he put it in is a count. And his count was because he was pimping and pandering a minor. The minor was a willing participant in getting pimped and pandered. But because it was against the law and they video recorded it, they got him on tape entering and exiting her body on multiple times in one sex act. The reason why he got hundreds of years is because they counted each time he entered and exited her body. Not just one assault, he assaulted her multiple times. 15, 20, 30 times sexual assault. Hundreds of years. So you're going to say, I got 2 strokes. KM said, that's 2 sexual assaults. 2. Okay? Not just one. And that's how the prosecutor, the district attorney, that's how they charge your ass. So you going on there on 15 counts. Remember Donald Trump? He had 30 felonies, and they was all from the same goddamn report. He had 30 felonies. They were all from one alleged crime, but they just charged him 30 times for each time he did it. That's how they're going to charge your ass. And that's how they're going to slam dunk it. They're going to present it to the court like you was in there a serial rapist. But it was just one time. One sexual event, but 15 charges. Okay, so now you going in there, I didn't rape her 15 times. Oh, yes, you did. Dick went in, dick went out. Dick went in, dick went out. All right, it went out here and went here. Okay, it ain't no joke. So now you fighting off 15 charges. Not one, 15. Okay, 15. And she's sitting up in court testifying like this with her old chocolated ass. All right. He's sitting up here, her chocolated ass looking like this, all innocent, while I can get that neck. I want to get her neck.
Himself.
She is revoking the consent.
Both of you, he is doing it with his actions because consent imeishia kwa condom. The moment you remove the condom, she did not agree to have sex with you without a condom. That's rape.
Woo!
Yes.
So it's revoked.
Yes.
He is the one who has revoked it.
Yes. Because if he wants to proceed, he should keep his condom on. The moment anatoa condom, sex imeisha.
Damn. Hey, don't be mad at me, bruh. And look at him. He's sitting over there like y'all ninjas today. Like, what? Y'all getting a lesson today. Y'all getting a lesson. Yo.
And we don't talk about such things.
Do you need to tell him that you have revoked it?
Yes. And okay. Not just you need to tell him. It's common sense.
It's common sense. So she's now saying, well, I shouldn't really have to tell him. He should know this. How many men know this? How many know y'all going to get 8 charges tonight? He should know. Well, I'm telling you, most men aren't educated like this. Most men are not. And the minute I try to educate y'all, some of y'all squirming. Some of y'all, we don't care about this. Some of y'all want to go to your red pill rage. But yeah, some dudes don't want to agree to this. There were male consecrators that were saying, even with these text messages, that Shannon Sharpe is being set up. The judge is going to throw this out. And I'm here telling you, and ESPN said, all right. But this should be common sense. You guys should be proceeding like this accordingly in 2025. She said it's common sense, nigga. Y'all should know this. It should be part of what you're trained to. Are men trained for this, especially with dating coaches? Nope. Overcome objections. Man, no don't mean no. Dating coaches will tell you, just get laid. Spin plates. All right. Shannon Sharpe, 55, with a 22-year-old. It wasn't common sense to him. He released the goddamn text messages proving exactly what this woman's talking about. All right, so Shannon Sharpe didn't know, and he put his own evidence out there to hang his ass. All right, and ESPN was like, take a break, bruh. Take a break. What did I do? What did I do, ass nigga? All right, so here we go right here. He should know. Common sense.
It's common sense. Like hata mimi nikikwambia ukiniambia Roberta kuja niko na cameras, nikuje nipate hapa hakuna kamera. Sindaenda tu home. Ama ndaka hapa ni wish. Kuna cameras, tuendelee na hii session bila cameras. It's common sense that if someone did not agree to something, even head, if they say, me, I don't want to give head.
Oh.
And this goes both ways.
Okay.
If a man says, I don't want to give you head, it's revoked. You can decide, me, I don't want to have sex with someone who doesn't give head. So let's not do it. Let's not go there. I won't have my full satisfaction. But we ignore such things and we create loopholes and we don't have discussions. But then when you go home and you're seated on your own, you start to think.
Oh, here we go.
Sasa inabidi umeze hizo mapitu na masijui e-pills na masijui nini na nini.
Listen.
Lazima uende ufanywe screening, HIV test, bla bla bla, uende kwa gyna kwa sababu umeanza kunuka kama fish. Unaanza kushangaa what's happening.
Kama fish.
Bacterial vaginosis.
Yep.
These STIs and these
Listen.
infections that are brought about, like transmitted through sex.
Yes.
When you go home, yes, let's say you have sex, he removes the condom, you guys proceed.
Yep.
You go home. You see, you never had that discussion ya kutoa condom.
Right.
But ukifika home wewe mwenyewe unaanza kufikiria, why did I allow him?
Yeah.
Why did I proceed?
Oh, man, cooked. What did I tell you guys? Now, it's exactly what I'm saying. She said, okay, so I didn't resist. I let him stroke that punani. I let him nut inside of me. This is what Shannon Sharp's girl said. She said, then I went home and I started letting the hamster wheel go. I stood outside I didn't get the Uber. He kicked me out the house. Then I got home freezing cold at 4:30 in the morning doing the walk of shame. Then I went home thinking about I could catch STD. I could get pregnant, bacterial vaginosis, all right, STI, herpes. She started thinking. What did I tell you? She went home. She didn't kick, scream, cry, say no. What did Shannon Sharp's text say? I cried when you left because you didn't listen. You put it in my ass with no condom. I don't care what our history is. I don't know how to process this. It was after the fact. Okay? So she said, all right, I didn't say nothing then, but I'm going to say something now. Now that I have clarity, now that I'm thinking about this, now I'm thinking about got bleeding butthole and nut oozing out of my ass. Now I'm thinking, you know what? After further review, upon further review, now you're going to say she switched up on me. She changed up on me. She removed consent after the fact. But boom. Now that her mind is thinking and racing, now she's going, You see that? Now, if you didn't give her the $50K like she asked for, and you said, fuck you, bitch, I ain't giving you the $50K, nah. I ain't paid for it before. I ain't paying for it now. Okay? Hell no. Hell with you. Now she going to the court. Now she finding a lawyer. So women can, after the fact, go home and think, or thought and plot, or go, how can I recover from this? Yeah. That's why when I read them Shannon text messages, I'm like, cooked. You cooked yourself, sir. With this one. And then I'll call you later. Can I call you later to clear this shit up? Baby, what's going on? All right. Setup of the century. Setup of the century. Oh, he's setting her up. She's setting him up. Okay, Captain Obvious. But she's also saying, upon further review, and the fact that I don't have $20K in my bank account, and you only gave me 10, and you left my funky ass short 40, and you went in my dookie hole and dug in there. I know I said yes yesterday, but not today. Upon further review, you're getting sued for $50 million. Good luck arguing this. I mean, listen, now you're going to have to take this to the judge. Tell it to the judge, my ninja.
Why did I let this happen? Now you have to take all these subsequent measures to make sure you're safe.
Yep.
When You should have just removed yourself from that situation. And I don't want to blame the victim because sometimes it's difficult. Let me tell you what goes on in your head at that time as a woman.
Okay, tell us.
I don't want him to leave me.
Oh.
What if he gets violent?
Oh.
I'm enjoying the sex, but I'm not sure. Ooh. But I don't know if I tell him, he'll just a lot of abandonment issues.
Oh.
So it's real fear. It's valid fear. And remember, I'm only talking about the woman's side because I am a woman who dates men. So this can be vice versa.
Uh-huh.
There's ladies who say, me, I don't use condoms, I'm allergic to them. As a man, that's your job to say, okay, cool. Me, I use condoms and...
He's allergic to condoms.
That's what they say. Allergic to...
Have you read about it?
All right, we're going to skip this part because we're going to talk about people making excuses as to why to not wear a condom, but you just heard it right there. Oh, I have abandonment issues. That was clear in Shannon Sharpe's case. I'm losing him. He cheated on me. He did something I didn't want to do, but I let it go before. And I'm going to lose him. That was the last time. That clearly was the last time they were going to have sex because she was ready to move on, but she wanted money from that last one. I'm here to tell you he didn't give her the entire bag. So at that point, she knew she lost him. And probably by the way he had sex with her, that was the last time. All right. By the way he freaked her down, she probably knew that was it. I'm getting no more Shannon after this. So no more access to him, no more access to money. The way he degraded me, that was the last time. She probably said, okay, abandonment. He left me. He left me short on money. He left me dookie hole bleeding. And let me go ahead and reel his ass back in. So that's what she's explaining. The thought process behind it. Again, I'm not defending it, but boom. Let me do one more here. Let me see here. 42. Okay, so that's it on that one. Let me do the super chats. But it's serious business. It's serious business. As you're rising up, you will find that more and more likely that you might be exposed to this. If you're a Pookie, you might get away with it. You might not. Pookies go to jail for this shit all the time. They go to jail for this shit all the time. You just never hear about it. All right. Anyway, just because you never hear about it doesn't mean it's not happening. All right. But that was my class on this. I figured since I have a mostly male audience, I should present this to you because it is my responsibility to help you. It's not to scare you because most people have sex and nothing happens from these situations. But it could be a way for you to explain what happened. Shannon Sharpe situation, it sounds like what that lady was saying. And you're saying because she's an only, oh, by the way, prostitutes can be sexual assaulted. Just because she's a prostitute doesn't mean you can have your way with her. Just because a woman slept with your friend doesn't mean she has to sleep with you. Just because a woman does OnlyFans doesn't mean you can have your way with her and do what you want. Just because a woman is JUCO and she's your JUCO, or you know she's a JUCO, or she knows she's a mahi-mahi or transactional, does not mean you can do whatever you want to her. So the excuse that this woman's an OnlyFans girl and that's not an excuse. I'm just here to tell you, it is not. You can't just say she's an OnlyFans girl and anything can happen to her. You also can't say she has a text in June of 2023 saying abuse me and choke me. So in 2024, I get to abuse and choke her again. You can't do that, or you're going to have to defend why you believe you need to do that. Okay, but it's going to be an uphill battle. So I figure it's my duty to say to an all-male audience, whether you agree or not, Ninja, I just laid out my case very thoroughly. For the young men listening to me with your red pill rage, you better figure out how you're going to process these situations because men aren't trained in this. We're not having these discussions. We have a lot of masculine discussions and joke about sex, but you guys don't like to have these discussions. Right? Because you want women to think like you. Why can't we just get women to think like, bruh, that's over. It ain't going to happen. Women going to think how they think. You adjust to that. Making these women think and be accountable is a waste of your goddamn time. It ain't going to happen anytime soon. So shout out to our brother Big Joke at ATL says, ooh, we coach. That consent segment was gold. Hey, Coach Gang, clip guys. You better be on your job, beesh.